How's it going, folks? So, before we really dive into this, there are two things I want everybody listening to bear in mind. The first thing is I want, if you can, remember the 1980s interviews with Soviet defector Yuri Bezmenov. And if you remember that, you'll remember he mentioned a group of people who would fall victim to the what the KGB calls active measures. Once these active measures have set in on a person, there's no amount of evidence that can sway them on whatever the active measures were taken against them. In the Soviet Union's case, they were pushing communism. And with that being said, you could take that person to a communist country and show them what a hellhole it was, and that wasn't going to change their opinion. The second thing I want you to think about is the possibility of AI taking over and ruling humanity. Now, I'm not talking about a Skynet style takeover. They don't have to do that. AI does not have to do that to take over humanity. Uh, there are no shortage of people who are more than happy to let AI do their thinking for them. And we could very well see ourselves in with a future of people doing nothing but letting AI make all their choices for them and them just obeying AI. So bear that in mind as well. Snark Queen Bee, you are one of those people, by the way, on both counts. You just showed that in your thread. You see, what had happened, for those of you who don't realize, she came over to a person by the name of Carlton LaFleur's X account and started calling him a psycho. But then when she got pushback, she decided to start having people ask Grok if she was a smart and intelligent person. Well, so anyway, I asked Grok why she is a passive aggressive moron. Now, Grok's response had nothing to do with Snark Queen Bee. It had everything to do with Dexter Taylor, and that response there is chock full of bias and shows that AI is subject to the preconceived notions that the programmer has. So that's a different topic. However, when shown this, when Snark Queen Bee can see this herself, and Snark Queen Bee, I do hope you're paying attention here because you have shown you're both of those things. The person who has fallen victim to active measures and the person who will let AI take over voluntarily. But when shown this, Snark Queen Bee proceeded to say, well, but Dexter Taylor is on Carl's pinned post. Okay. Dexter Taylor wasn't mentioned in the thread. Dexter Taylor wasn't the question. So, right there, that in and of itself still proves my point. Grok isn't a very reliable source. And at the end of the day, after being shown that Grok isn't exactly reliable, in fact, quite frankly, the opposite, you still go on to cite Grok as being your source of how intelligent you are, thus proving that you didn't learn a damn thing at all. Shoot. You want to get into the guns portion of it too? Because that's another thing. I mean, an intelligent person should have probably stepped back and thought to themselves, hey, wait, people like Carl have all these guns. He hasn't murdered anybody yet, or at least not to anybody's knowledge. um, you know, maybe one, he knows more about guns than I do, and maybe two, um, maybe my preconceived notion about gun owners being psycho is wrong, and maybe, I might be the person with the problem here. No, you didn't. You didn't think about that, did you, Snark Queen Bee? And you want to sit there and talk about how intelligent you are? You're a fucking dumbass. You're a fucking moron. And you just showed it right there. Ugh, shoot. I mean, I could really delve into this a lot more if I chose to, but I think I've made my case right here. And Star Queen B, you just walked right into it too. Thank you for being such a dumbass and exposing your ass for everybody to see.